Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Stupiduel. Stupiduel is going to be published by Lost Adept Distractions, and it is designed by one of our local designers, which is going to be Hugh Barnes. And this game here is going to be all about the story that's told throughout the game and all about the imaginative ways that you can think of to destroy your opponent. In Stupiduel, you're going to be doing a duel, and it's going to probably be stupid. You're going to get an item, and you're going to get some modifiers, and you're going to invent a story on how you decimated the person that you are challenging. And then that defender is going to try to figure out a way with their item and modifier cards to defend themselves and find a way out of your devastating attack. Every player is going to have 3 life points, and the person last standing with the only one basically with life points is the winner. So let's go ahead down to the table here. I'll give you a general idea how to play the game, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Stupiduel. So a little background here: for century trials by combat were fought to protect one's pride and reputation with courage and bloodshed. These duels were affairs of honor where life or death hung in the balance, and duelists might spend years practicing with the sword and pistol. Against the day, an enraged rival or an embarrassed peer cut out for blood would issue a challenge. Duels were not undertaken or refused lightly. A stupid duel is just as stupid as a regular duel, but just a lot more fun. Stupiduel is a combat of wits fought dishonorably with cowardice to protect nothing in particular. The only thing hanging in the balance are crowing rights and possibly a few jelly beans. Forget the years of practice. Armed with dangerous and often goofy contents of this deck, even the utter novice has a good chance against a seasoned duelist. Challenge anyone, challenge everyone. You'll die 1,000 deaths and come back for more. You'll usually die laughing too. And we can't think of a better way to go. So from that, you can basically understand that this game is all about the experience. So this game is all about the story you're going to be telling while you're dueling other players, based on the cards that you get. Now this game can play up to 2 to 8 duelists. This game, I will say, is a much better game at a higher player count. So I think that is where this game shines. So getting close to the 6 to 8 player count is really good. Age of the duelist can be 9 up. Number of life tokens, everyone's going to have 3 life tokens. You can use whatever you want for the life tokens. The game recommends something edible so the other player can eat them or smash them or whatever. But have fun with it, whatever you're going to use for a token, but everyone needs to have 3 tokens. That's their 3 life. The objective of this game is actually to be the last one standing. So you're the last one with life tokens. No one else has one. That is your goal. All right, so there's a couple different type of cards in this game. There's basically going to be your item cards. The item cards here, let's show you an item card. Item cards are green. You need items to do duels. Red cards are going to be your item modifiers, and you have some wild cards in here that are included for both types. So they can be an item or a modifier in the game there. To start the game, you're going to hand out cards to each player. You're going to hand out 3 cards to each player. At the start of their turn, a player is going to draw up to 5, but you're going to have 3 cards. So on my turn here, I'll draw up to 5 cards. So now I have 5 cards. What do I do on my turn? Well, now that I have my 5 cards, I need to make sure I have an item card. If I don't have an item card, I need to draw till I have an item card. Which I have a couple item cards on here. I have a breakfast cereal and a hamster, and I have some modifiers: tiny, too many, and trapped. So now that I have my items and my modifiers, I'm going to need to issue a challenge. I'm going to choose any other duelist to attack and announce your intention. So I'm going to say on guard or prepare to die or whatever I want to say, and that will be the person that I'm going to attack. I need to make my attack. I can take a single item card and as many modifiers as I want from my hand as desired and make up a story about how the defender is horribly destroyed. The story can be as weird or elaborate or ridiculous as you like. You may even tell something short, realistic, and logical if you like. So the story, a couple rules with that. The story must end in the defender's death, whether clearly described or implied. You must use your item card, has to have at least one, however modified, to cause your opponent's death directly or to lead the victim to an inescapable doom. So those things have to happen. The item can't be used as a description or action, and a modifier can't be used as an item. Only one item can be used in combat. So that's the rules for the combat part. We're going to get into defense, but I'm going to give you an example here. So let's say I'm going to use the hamster, and I'll say too many. So I'm going to say, well, I will attack you with my horde of hamsters. There's way too many of them, and they are going to overrun you and nibble you to death. Okay, so now you have how that player is going to die. After that, the defender is going to try to defend. Naturally, this is hopeless and probably not going to be successful, but can the defender mount a good enough defense against the attacker? Now, the defender also needs to have an item, and if they don't have an item, they can draw till they get one. Sort of the same idea, they can use an item and the modifiers, and these things are legal for defense. Your opponent has the right to ask you up to 2 questions about your fiendish schemes while devising their defensive story. So the defender can ask 2 questions of the attacker. The attacker has to answer those. The defender cannot stop your attack by attacking you first. That's not a thing you can do. All attacks are backstabs and sucker punches in the Stupiduel, so you can't be harmed beforehand. The exception is if you purposely make an obvious head-on attack, in which case the defender can try to finish you off first. You cannot lose a life token as the challenger, even if the defender kills you to save himself. The defender must devise and present an escape story regardless of how pathetic or hopeless it is. So they have to have one. Any duelist who spots a rule violation, this is the same for attacking too, can basically invalidate the defender or invalidate the attacker if they have a rules violation. Who wins the challenge is going to be the big thing. So after I give my defense of the attacker, who's going to win the challenge? There's a couple different ways to have that happen. The attacker, challenger, agrees to the counter story would work, and then that's good. Nothing happens, everything's good, no one loses a life. Your opponent's defense was so pathetic or funny or both that you decide to be charitable and allow it to work. That's another thing as the challenger you can do. To the other duelist acting as second, so every other player that's not in this duel, the people that you didn't challenge, if the challenger didn't concede to the defender and allow their story to go, then the other players are going to vote with a thumbs up or thumbs down on who wins the combat. If you won the challenge, then you will take the other player loses a life token. So if you lose the challenge, then everything's fine. No one loses a life token. Winning the game is going to be simply having the last life token wins Stupiduel. Now, if you're eliminated in Stupiduel, meaning you have no life tokens, you still can vote on decisions on who wins the duels for the rest of the game, so it keeps you invested in it. And like I said, as you can see, this game is all about telling a story. It's all about telling a story when you're attacking and telling a cohesive ending to hopefully that story if you're defending where you live or you take out the attacker. So this game is a game that is going to be best played with people that want to have an open-ended story game and are just in it to have some goofy fun. So let's go ahead back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on Stupiduel. Okay, so Stupiduel is an open-ended game. So what I mean by that is that this is going to be for the group of people who don't mind being incredibly imaginative and storytelling throughout the game and being driven to try to figure out a cohesive story with what they have in their hand for either challenging or defending. And just having a lot of fun at the table in general, just going over and not minding to have a very social game. So with that said, if you're just into playing like a worker placement game with strict rules in it, this game is probably not for you. But if you're looking for a game where you just want to have a lot of fun with your friends and you want your conversations around the table with this game to drive the game, and you want to have sort of like a game that inspires imagination and inspires creativity, and you can hear other people and their imagination and creativity coming to life with either their challenges or defense and have fun and live with that in the moment, this is going to be the type of game for you. I will say that the game does play best with a higher player count. I don't think I mind if a player gets eliminated because you get to be a bystander and you still get to vote on who wins the duels potentially, unless the challenger admits defeat before that. Really, really fun game, really imaginative game, really like how all these cards combine into just strange things that you can try to figure out how to work with. So if that's something that interests you, I would highly recommend picking up Stupiduel, and that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.